and we want to tell them. We just don't know how, and we don't know that we can actually go out there and make our own movie. A lot of people don't even recognize that it's something they can actually do. Hey, so today is going to be really awesome. Wait till you guys guess what I'm doing. Oh. Okay, so here's the deal. I write screenplays. That sounded weird. Okay, I write screenplays. No, dumb. I write screenplays! No, my panties are showing. Okay. I write screenplays. And one of those screenplays I actually turned into an independent feature film. It was one of the best things that I've ever finished. Probably the only thing I've ever finished. Wait, no, that's not true. I've also finished a lot of short films and worked on a lot of other people's independent films, and working in the film industry, well, there are so many people that are out there that are famous from their filmmaking skills, but there are so many of us out here that just work hard and make independent films happen. We turn those screenplays that we've written into films, and by going out there and actually making our films, well, maybe it's a way to feel like maybe we've done something good. In some small way, we've actually made a difference. Okay, so making your own film, it is the best thing in the world, but it takes a lot of work. But for me, making a movie, it was a dream come true, so I want everybody else to feel that magic that I felt when I actually finished and sold a feature film. So if you want to write screenplays and have your movie made by yourself and do all of that, then I am the person for you. I have had this experience myself, and let's just say that there's a lot of information out there, okay? So there's good information and there's bad information. And I'm just gonna like cut through the chase and just tell you the basics. I'm gonna start from blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna start from the beginning. I'm gonna show you how to write a basic screenplay, how to put your idea into a film structure. Breaker, Mommy is making a movie over here. My dog. You, I'm trying to make a video. Could you hold it down a little bit, Breaker? I just put up a gate. See if that keeps him out. Breaker, now where are you? He is finding his way in the other way. Look at him. He just went around this way. Ugh, bad dog. Holding on a plane. That's how we say it in Hollywood. When we are filming something and a plane goes overhead, it interrupts everything. The whole production stops and everything shuts down and we're like, holding on a plane. Okay, also here's the deal. Okay, I don't want to waste anybody's time. So along the way, I'm going to just throw in little tidbits and surprises and all of the common pitfalls in the business side of doing independent film, and little trick and trade and theory and thought. I'm going to just share it all with you, okay? But first and foremost, they've got to what? Subscribe to the N55. So let's get to work. I'm going to start with what the basics are in a screenplay. See, what you don't know is that there is an exact structure of how a script is written. A script is the story that you're telling on the page before it goes to the screen. The screenplay. So it's a play for the screen. So in each screenplay, there are 3 acts. There's Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. And that's like just a really basic like outline. Okay, there's 3 acts. It's usually about 115 pages for a script. About 110 to 115 is a good amount. And okay, so let's just think about the 3-act structure. So what's in the beginning? You're going to have an opening image. You're going to start with that. The opening image is how life is where we are right now today. I mean, this is really important, what you put out there. It's the first image. It's the first thing that people see. It's what you want them to feel in a mood. What is that first visual image you're going to have to open up on the movie? And then the next thing after that is the setup, and that's like the first 10 pages. You have 10 pages to get the attention of the entire audience, everything you need to know about the entire thing of the script, of how it's going to unfold. You really do know a lot of information in the first 10 pages, and in those first 10 pages, it's usually like where the character is introduced. You get to know who everybody is, what their life is, where they are right now, and you also can see like what they want. Basically, you just show like what these characters need. Is the person an isolated loner, or is the person a drunk, or is the person, you know, overcompensating by having too much money and not sharing the wealth? Who is your character? Who are you basing this character on? Figure out like what needs fixing. Everything in life needs fixing, really. And you give each character, you know, a few things that need fixing right up front. Little things like it could be that somebody is in a place where they need everything to change in their life. So we're just going to see exactly where they are and the things that are making their lives the way they are. Like, that's the first 10 pages. Yeah, you don't have any attention. You have to be like quick on it. Who are all of the characters? Because if you were to actually send your scripts to Hollywood, the first 10 pages is all you get. That is it. If they're not interested and pulled into your story within the first 10 pages, out. They do with that, you guys. They stomp it out. Usually feel like there's a sense of like urgency though in a movie. Like when it starts, something's happening, you're like, something's about to change, right? So this is all the setup. That's the first 10 pages. About page like 12 or 13, that's when something really important happens. And the catalyst happens. That's when like the package comes in the mail. That's when the first time they see Santa Claus isn't real. That's the first time something big happens that's going to change and redirect everything in their life. Then after that, there's going to be the debate with the characters like, should I stay? Should I go? Should I do this? Should I not do this? If I do this, is it changing my values? Will I lose something if I do this? Like, what is the debate? Because there's always going to be like a big debate right after that. That debate is there to give our hero, which is our lead characters, like, give them the opportunity to say, like, stop, I can't do this. This is insanity. Like, you have to show the audience that opportunity, that they've had the opportunity to walk away and not do what they're gonna do, maybe, but they do it anyway. So imagine this is the story. Now this is the part where the story is broken off into two, where it's going to continue. And we're drawing in the hero. Honestly, the reason that there is like that little breakaway story, break it up, and you know why? Because we get bored. We really love the movie we're watching, but we want more to it. We want to see like layers of it. So that's why we add in this little B story. This is the story where people are just saying like, oh, let's talk about something else besides the same old thing. But that's when things get fun, you guys. That's when things get really fun. It's the fun and games part of the screenplay, the story, the film, the script. This is where everything of the movie is. I like this part. This is when everything is fine and good. Like, yay, things are working out. Like, let's go do something adventurous. Let's go do this, like, fun and games. This is where the characters connect and things are, okay. It's also where we're in the second act, so things are kind of tumbling. Let me just break down also the structure of the 3 acts. So in the first act is about the page 1 to 30, and then 30 to 60 is the second act, and 60 to 110, that's the third act. So basically the fun and games part of the story, it's just where you get things answered, like, oh, who's the crush? Or what happened there? It's like you're answering the questions, things are getting fun, you're getting to know the characters. Okay, so now we're at the midpoint of the movie. Where are we? Like, what have we learned so far? Right now we're in the middle, completely midpoint. So we see what's happened in the beginning, where everything was at in the characters' lives. We're seeing what's happened, right? And then we're seeing things like the fun and games. And now it's kind of like dominoes unfolding. Like the whole story is just going to start to crumble just a little bit, okay? Yeah, it's like the stakes are really raised. It's also a good part of the story where you can like put in some kind of like a false little mini victory, like where he thinks he's got the right person in the love relationship, but it's not really the right person. It's like some little false sense of things are good. But then meanwhile, bad guys are closing in, okay? Okay, so the bad guys are closing in. There is no place left to go for this hero, okay? He is now in a place where he can't go back, he can't go forward, he's past midpoint. And then something catastrophic or huge or horrible, then everything happens, okay? The whole thing the movie was about happens. It's to fall apart, yeah. I like to call this part of this story like the suicide, the dance with death, the part where everything is gone. All hope is out. All is lost. Which would make you start questioning everything, right? If you lose everything, you're like, okay, I'm gonna like stop and regroup and say like, where am I? I would like refocus. Like these characters are gonna do the same thing because these characters are humans, unless your characters are like dragons or unicorns or whatever. But this is the part of the story where you're like down, out, broken, drunk, whatever. I mean, this is the part of the story where our character is learning lessons really, really the hard way. Because if our characters learn lessons the easy way, then we don't have a movie, right? So that we have to learn things the hard way. We have to see our characters banging their heads, losing completely everything. Here's a complete example of how they even do it in children's movies. Look at Elf. At that exact spot in the movie, he's standing there looking over the bridge. It's his last chance. Is he going to jump and everything is going to be over? Or here comes the B story. We're going to break it into 3 now, okay? So the B story is now a C story. Those guys are going to come back in around, and guess what? They're going to help have the idea to help save everything. When a character has an idea that is his own, that's great, but when he has an idea told to him by somebody else, that's great. It's really how he himself takes the action on is he gonna change or is he not gonna change? So he decides he's just not gonna change. And the entire audience and everybody is like, what? We thought that he'd learned his lesson, or the character she's learned her lesson. Like, why would somebody going through all of that where they're gonna actually kill themselves actually not want to even change? Are you kidding? Are you crazy? Well, you're supposed to think like that, because actually it's just a little tease. Because right after that, we have to see our hero go out there and actually start doing something that's gonna like make that difference. All of the loose ends of all the other B and C stories, all those loose ends are tied up, and then we get to see our final image. And then you've come full circle. It's the final image where you can see like that something's changed, something new has sparked. The story is over. It's amazing. It's great. Everybody goes home with too much popcorn. Okay, I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you learned something from it, and it's just a basic structure of what a screenplay is. I'm going to be telling you a lot more about screenwriting, about making an indie film, about raising money for an indie film, how to do it, what to do, where to find your help, all of that. So I will be here every Tuesday with a new video, so please subscribe so that you'll know that when I'm back, because I'm doing this for you guys, for me too, but for you too. And let's just keep this fire going. Please like and subscribe for the Amber Vibe.